excited about this meeting because I realized just like how funny this book was, or how funny the author was. This is my second time reading this book, and the first time I read it, it wasn't, I don't recall it being this funny. But this time it definitely made me giggle. Made me giggle quite a few times, actually. So Wendy's is going to be our backdrop today, or our background, if you will. But yeah, y'all, so this section of the book, or I'm not even going to say this section of the book period, is funny, but this section of the book, like, the author's sense of humor really shined through, because he was reading people. Do you hear me? He was reading people. He was calling people broke. He was like, if you got this mentality, you're broke. Hey, Karen. And it was hilarious, right? Okay, so, but anyway, let's get into it. So we read pages 49 through 72. And so part 2 was all about the wealth vows. So with the hold on. It's about the wealth vows, and they give us 17 ways rich people think and act differently from poor and middle class people. So he basically goes to say that our brain is like a file cabinet. And so when you are dealing with certain things in your life, your mind automatically goes to that file cabinet to figure out what it is you know about that area. So when it comes down to you spending money, for instance, he used an example of his wife. He said, if I envision my wife going to the mall, and she may see a green purse, and so automatically her mind will convince her that you need this green purse because you've been waiting to wear an outfit with your green shoes, but you've been delaying wearing the green shoes because you don't have a purse. Now you have a purse, and it's 25% off. He says her mind is going to automatically make sense of what's going on, okay? Or, her mind is going to automatically go towards, I need this purse, based on the information within the money file in her brain. When in all honesty, her mind should tell her, hey, you are $300 in debt, maybe on like a credit card or something like that. Like you got $300 on your credit card. Maybe you should not buy that purse. Maybe you should put the money towards your debt. He was like, but since there is no file like that within her money file, in other words, she hasn't been programmed to think about it like that. She's not gonna think about it like that because that is not what's in her money file. She's not programmed to think that way. And so he says there are 17 ways that rich people think and act differently from poor people. And so that's where that stems from, right? Because if she had more of a rich mindset, and when he said rich, the way rich people think, he said he's not talking about money in a sense, because you could be working your way on up and be using these, okay. So long story short, files, everybody has files, right? You have files, I have files. There's some kind of way we connect money with ourselves, whether it's good, whether it's bad. We all have a certain mentality. If you know that you just spent $200 on groceries and you only got $50 left in your bank account, and that $50 has to last you for the next 5 days, if you're the type of person that's going to say, I'm still going to stop at Checkers and get me something to eat, and then I'll just deal with whatever comes later, throughout the week, you probably have a poor money file. You get what I'm saying? So he talks about wealth file number 1. Wealth file number 1 is rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me. I, for one, can definitely understand like that way of thinking, because a rich person, like, the first thing that you're taught when you're thinking about changing your mindset to a rich mindset is mindset. You get what I'm saying? So, and then part of that mindset is prophesying your day, waking up in the morning and saying, okay, I'm going to have a good day. You know, I'm going to do everything that I need to do. And even if something comes along and it pisses me off or it distracts me or whatever the case may be, I'm going to have a good day. Meanwhile, the life happens to me people seem to more so be on the, I got to get up. I got to go to this fucking job. I hate this job. You know what I mean? Like, that's more so their mindset. So I completely get it. Like they said, wealth foul number 1 is rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me. Life doesn't happen to any of us. I mean, life may throw things at us, but ultimately we get to decide how we deal with it. Like, your life is just full of choices. Where you are now is a representation of every choice that you have made in your life up until now. But anyway, he also says poor people usually play the victim. When I tell you, I completely agree with that. Do you know those people who every time something goes wrong in their life, like, it's somebody else's fault? Like, it's somebody else's fault. When something goes wrong in your life, it's somebody else's fault. It's never their fault. They're going to point the blame on everybody else, and it's never going to be their fault. He says victims leave 3 clues. 1 is blame. They blame their parents, they blame their spouse, they blame God, they blame the economy, they blame the government, they blame their employer. They blame everybody. Why don't you have any money? My mama them didn't teach me nothing about no money. You know what I mean? Like, that's their mindset. Or, why don't you have no money? My wife or my husband gamble whatever away. Why don't you have no money? I just want, God didn't put me to no rich family. Why don't you have no money? The economy is messed up. It's so hard out here to find a job. You always got those people. It's so hard for me to find a job. I can't find a job. So yes, he says there's the victims, money victims leave 3 clues, or just victims period leave 3 clues, and 1 is blame. The second one is justifying, basically saying things like money isn't that important. He says that if you have the mindset that money isn't that important, you will not have money. It's just that simple. And the way he explains it is, if you're in a relationship and you tell your girlfriend or your boyfriend you're just not that important, how likely are they to stick around? If you have a vehicle and you don't keep your vehicle up because you feel like having transportation really isn't that important, that means you're not going to give a fuck if your car need an oil change. You're not going to care about nothing that. You're going to drive your car in the dirt. You get what I'm saying? The same mindset is with people and money. If you're one of those people that feel like money isn't that important, it's going to slip through your fingers because you're not going to take care of your money. So, again, victims leave three clues. 1 is blame. They blame their parents that they don't have money. They blame their spouse. They blame God. They blame the economy. They blame their employer. They blame everything on everybody on why they don't have money, but they never put the blame on themselves. The next one is justifying it, saying money isn't that important. It'll be okay, whatever. At the end of the day, none of us can take love to the bank. Like he said, go try to deposit a check full of love and see can you pay your rent off of that. You can't do anything off of love. Money is very important, and if you feel that it's not important, then you have a poor mindset, which will also equate to you making poor decisions for the rest of your life unless you decide to change it, because at the end of the day, as humans, like he said, we don't take care of things that aren't that important to us. So if money isn't important to you, you're not going to take care of it. The third one is complaining. People who complain all the time are also victims. And that's never good. He says what you focus on expands. So you ever watch a movie or you're watching TV or something like that, and the person is having a shitty day? Like first they wake up and they overslept or their alarm didn't go off, right? And then they get out of the bed and then they stump their toe. And then they get ready to go to work and it's pouring down raining. And then now her makeup or her hair is all messed up. And then she gets in her car and then she goes to turn her engine. And then the car doesn't crank. And it's just like one fucking thing after another. Right? Our mentality has a lot to do with that. Because as soon as she woke up, I'm pretty sure the first thing she said when she woke up was not, you know what? I'm late, but it's okay. I'm still going to have a good day. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to call. I'm going to let my supervisor know, hey, I'm going to give my supervisor an excuse and let my supervisor know I'm running 20 minutes late because I just woke up 20 minutes late. But I'm not going to tell her I woke up 20 minutes late. We're just going to say we're running 20 minutes late. And then now our day is fine. Now we can coast through the rest of the day because we still have the same amount of time to get ready. You know what I'm saying? No. She woke up and was like, what the fuck? I am late for work. Oh my God, I can't be late for work. Damn, I don't need this shit right now. You get what I'm saying? And then it's a snowball effect. Also, he goes on to give us another wealth principle. This wealth principle says, money is extremely important in the areas in which it works and extremely unimportant in the areas in which it doesn't. Which goes back to when people are like, well, love isn't as important or money isn't as important as love. He says, well, why do you have to choose? The money and love are both equally important. But when love is important, it's important dealing with love. And when money is important, it's important with dealing with things with money. Like, yeah, you can have money, but if somebody doesn't love you for you, the money doesn't matter. And yeah, you can be in love with somebody, but if y'all can't pay y'all bills as a couple, then the love doesn't mean shit. We got to figure out how to pay these bills. You get what I'm saying? So that is where that wealth principle stems from. Then he gives us another wealth principle after that. And it says, when you are complaining, you become a living, breathing crap magnet, right? Which goes back to those people who are always talking about life sucks. My life sucks. My life sucks. Shit always going wrong. My car always fucking up. This always going this way. That always going that way. Every time you talk to them, they got something negative to talk about. And they be like, oh my God, my life is just crazy. No, your life is crazy because you complain all the time. You are attracting exactly what is spewing out of your mouth. The words of the tongue. You know what I mean? Like, you prophesy on your day. You prophesy on your life. So if you're constantly complaining, like attracts like. If you're constantly complaining about bullshit, you're going to constantly attract bullshit. Then he says, complainers usually have a tough life. He says, think about all the people that you know that complain all the time. How's their life? Versus the people that you know that are happy and they're like, you know, how's their life? It says complainers usually have a hard life. And I can agree. If I think about the people who are always complaining, they do. Like, something is always going on in their lives. And something is always wrong. And it's just always... It's always something. That's why you don't want to be around them. You be like, this nigga, motherfucker, why is she calling me? What? I don't want to hear it today. You know, you just got those kind of people. They're always complaining. Their life is always shot to hell. Then he gives us a challenge. The challenge is no complaining for 7 days. He says you do not complain out loud. You don't even complain up here. You correct yourself. As soon as you feel yourself complaining, change it. Change the narrative of the whole situation. He says do it for 7 days and you will see a huge change. I'm going to vow to do it. So by the time we have our next book club meeting, we're going to talk about that. Okay? We're gonna talk about that. And I'm gonna put the challenge on the community board so that so that everybody else can know what's going on too. Well, I don't know. Let me not quote that because I might know. So then he gives us another wealth principle. And this wealth principle says there is no such thing as a really rich victim. And so that reminds me of Kim Kardashian, right? Or just really any celebrity, but I immediately thought about Kim Kardashian. When Kim lost her earring, I don't know if y'all watched the Kardashians. When they went out of town somewhere, probably to like the Maldives or something, Kim lost a diamond earring in the ocean. And she cried about it. And they helped her find it, but they were just like, oh, why would you wear it anyway? Like, her mom was like, that's why we have insurance, honey. You get what I'm saying? It's like, girl, shut your ass up. Or when somebody like in the public eye is going through something, nobody really sympathizes with them. You know, it's like, go cry on your jet. Shut the hell up. Which pulls him to his next thing, where he says, let me make sure that was next. Yes. So then he goes to say, you can be a victim or you can be rich, but you cannot be both. So basically, you might want to vow to yourself that from this point forward, I'm going to be rich and I'm not going to be a victim. And I am going to understand the role that I play in the fucked up things that happen in my life. And I'm just going to be smart enough to move forward and fix them later. You know, like fix them in the future. Then he gives us another. So wealth file number 2. Remember I told y'all there are 17 wealth files. This is wealth file number 2. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play not to lose. That actually makes a lot of sense. Rich people will invest their money because they're playing to win. They start businesses. They franchise businesses. They invest their money into stocks and things like that. They put their money into accounts where there's going to be a percentage that is going to make it grow. Poor people play not to lose, meaning they want to, I just want to make sure all of my bills get paid, and then I'm going to put money over here in savings for a rainy day, and then that's it. I cannot afford to fuck up any money off of putting money into stocks, and then the money doesn't come back to me. I can't think that way. I can't think that way. That's a poor mindset. You have to play to win. Just playing not to lose is going to get you exactly that. I want to win. I'm sorry. So then he gives us a wealth principle. If your goal is to be comfortable, chances are you will never get rich. But if your goal is to be rich, chances are you'll end up mighty comfortable. That's kind of like the saying, shoot for the stars and you'll land on the moon. If your goal is $1,000 and you make 900, it's okay. But if your goal is to make 500, you're not even going to push yourself for real to, if your goal is 500, you're not going to automatically push yourself for 7. You get what I'm saying? So push yourself as far as you can go. Go try to be rich. Try to reach that way. And then you'll be living like a pretty nice life. Wealth file number 3. Which rich people are committed to being rich and poor people want to be rich. He says there's a difference. You can say you want to win the lottery, but if you never play, how are you going to win the lottery? You have to commit to being rich. Like, wanting it is not enough. Wanting it is, who cares? You can want a Bentley. You can want a vacation tomorrow. But it means nothing until you say, on this date, I'm going out of town, and then you start planning for it. Same thing with getting rich. You have to commit to being rich so that way life will show you the roadmap to it. Another wealth principle. The number one reason most people don't get what they want is they don't know what they want. He says people don't know what they want. You confuse the universe. The universe is going to give you exactly what you want. And I hear a lot of wealthy people say that. The universe will give you exactly what you want. You just got to ask for it. Or as God says, ask and you will receive. Which also goes to say, if you want, like, don't confuse what you're saying. Don't love something today and then hate it tomorrow, because you're confusing the universe. Don't want to get rich today and then tomorrow you like, girl, I just need enough to pay these bills. You're confusing the universe. Anyway, babes, I will see you guys next Tuesday. I forgot to write down what pages we're going to be reading, so I'll make sure I keep it like in the YouTube community tab and also touch on it within vlogs to keep y'all reminded. See you guys next Tuesday. Love you. Bye.